Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning. Are we audible and visible both?
Yeah,
Okay. Mr. Shubham, tell us something about yourself.
sir. My name is Shubham Bansal. I am a programmer analyst trainee in Cognizant, and I have a 1 year experience in IT. And I like to work in innovation technologies and diverse fields. And I have also participated in an innovation challenge in BFSI domain of my company, in which our idea probability of default has won various prizes. And my hobby is playing guitar.
You belong to which place?
Lucknow.
Lucknow. And where from you have completed your graduation? And
I've completed. Yeah.
and in which stream?
Yeah, I have completed my graduation from Kamala Nehru Institute of Technology in BTech Electronics Engineering.
Okay. You are presently working with which company?
Cognizant.
Cognizant.
Okay. Why do you want to switch? Matlab you have a aspiration for innovation and all. I think that opportunity you are already having in the company. You are then why you suddenly want to come to altogether a different field?
Actually, sir, you have very well said that there's various opportunities in innovation in my company only. But what my career aspiration is that after around 5 years, I will be doing something in management in my company only. So banking is a very good opportunity. It will provide me a very good opportunity to have this experience in management. And there's a lot of scope of innovation in banking also, as we can see that banking is getting digitalized day by day. There's a increase in digital technology in the banking, and there's a need for digital people in banking. So it will give immense opportunity. Plus, I will be getting what I will be doing in around 5 years from now. I will be getting experience in that also. I will be getting trained in that management, because management is something which we can only when we do it, then we can experience it. It cannot be taught theoretically. So banking will provide me immense opportunities for that.
So have you applied for some technical post, or you have applied for general banking officer?
General banking, it's for general banking officers.
But
IBPS.
in that
As you have
case,
already told that you have an interest of making codes and all and developing some technology.
he
But
could have
you
joined
won't
as
get
an
that
IT officer.
opportunity in bank. You won't get that opportunity in bank as a general banking officer.
There are separate category of technical officers
Yeah.
known as
Yeah,
IT officers.
specialist officers. Yeah, IT officers.
So why
Yeah.
they should ask a PO to do all these things, which is not your domain, basically?
Actually, sir, basically what I have experienced is that working on, because I have worked on I have told that I have worked on idea called probability of default. So in that, I have seen that there's a domain knowledge which we have to get. When I was working on that solution, there was various banking terms and all that things, which were I have to learn for that. So this general banking officers are generalist officers, which are trained on the entire gamut of banking operations. So I will be getting that knowledge and while working as a generalist officer, because by working as a specialist officer, I will be getting only the limited set of knowledge about that, only the banking operations related to technology. But while working as a generalist officer, I will be getting the knowledge of entire gamut of operations, and which will really help me to get the knowledge about diverse fields, and I can think about the various challenges in that field and try to bring some innovative solutions for that problem.
Be little brief in your answer. You are lingering on. Okay, you tell me one thing. Recently, your Cognizant CEO for India has been changed. Who is the present CEO of Cognizant in Indian team? Who is heading the Indian team?
Sorry, sir, I don't remember that.
But Cognizant has some kind of financial problems of late. They have already कुछ layoff कर दिए हैं. They have massively, sacked some people.
Actually,
so
sir,
what kind of crisis it is undergoing at the moment?
Basically, they have sacked people who are failed in the background check. They have not sacked something like because of some financial problem. They, because like in the COVID, the companies have hired immensely, and they were not able to do the background check. But after that, when the HRs got free after the COVID, so they have found background check in which they have seen that the people who have applied were having fake experiences. So that's why they have removed some of the peoples which were having fake experience.
Okay. What is a bank? What is your understanding of a bank? Bank क्या होता है? How do you
So,
explain?
so bank is an institution which provides advances and also gives the facilities for depositing our money.
Deposits and advances.
Yeah, and also provides various other digital banking operations and other services.
वो तो करता है. This is the basic definition of a bank. If I go by your definition, then you must have seen NBFCs, non-banking. They are not banking financial institution, नहीं है, non-banking financial institutions.
Yeah,
NBFCs.
yes, sir.
They also accept deposits. They also lend money. So how does it differentiate them from banks? How they are different from banks?
So NBFCs are concerned with limited set of banking operations. They are for a limited area, but banking is a broad operations. They are for the broad areas. They will cover broad areas, but NBFCs are to serve for the limited set of people in the limited area.
Limited care. They are now even performing better than banks in many of the. They have the last mile reach among the. They are going to the rural sector. They are liberally financing people. They are accepting deposits also, and RBI has now brought NBFCs under their regulation. So they are also playing a very important role. How NBFC is different from banks? What is the? Can you give me a fundamental difference? How banks are different from NBFCs? Apart from this, what you said, you are right. They accept deposits and lend money. कुछ पता है? नहीं. Can NBFCs issue checks?
No, sir.
Bank जैसे
NBFCs
issue
cannot.
करता है check, NBFC कोई check issue कर सकता है?
No, sir. NBFC cannot issue check.
That is a major difference. No? It is only the banks as a financial institutions. They are competent to issue checks to their customers.
Okay.
Therefore, they are a part of the clearing mechanism that
Okay.
NBFCs cannot do. Okay. अच्छा, monetary and credit policy of Reserve Bank of India अब सुना भी होगा. You must have heard something about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the objective? क्या होता है? Can you explain to me what
Sir,
a monetary and credit policy is?
So monetary policies are those policies through which banks tries to do price stabilization, keeping in mind the growth of the economy.
Price stabilization.
Yeah.
That means inflation.
Yeah.
They address inflation.
Basically, it tries to address inflation. There are various tools which they use to address this inflation to keep the prices within the limited range.
Name important tools of monetary policy.
Can you
Which are
name some few of
Yeah.
the tools?
There are various tools like repo rate, reverse repo rate, and MSF, marginal standing facility, and open market operations. These are the various tools.
What is moral suasion? There is a term called moral suasion in monetary policy also. क्या है? Moral
Yeah.
suasion क्या होता है?
So it is a qualitative tool of RBI for monetary policy. So in that moral suasions, the RBI tries to ask the banks and other financial institutions to decrease or increase the lending so as to control the inflation or to increase the liquidity in the market.
Recently, the RBI has, you must have heard that RBI has increased the repo rate.
Yeah.
What is the present rate?
It's 6.25%.
What is the full form of repo?
Repurchase options.
Repurchase options. Can you explain to me logically how it is helpful in controlling inflation? Jैसे RBI has now increased the repo rate, so how it is going to impact the inflationary pressures?
So, sir, what is repo rate is that it's an overnight, it's a facility RBI provides to give overnight funds to the bank. So basically, when RBI increases the repo rate, so what happens is that the liquidity in the market gets decreased because loans are getting costlier. So the liquidity in the market will get decreased. People will have less money to spend, and which will like have help in keeping the inflation down.
But don't you think that it is going to adversely impact growth, GDP?
Yes, sir. It will definitely impact growth, but
Negatively.
it will negatively impact growth.
Then what is the priority for RBI? To maintain GDP, to spur up GDP, or to contain inflation? क्या अभी RBI के सामने क्या है? What is the priority?
Sir, the current priority RBI is having is to control the prices, because when the prices will be increasing, so like the marginal people will be like having to face difficulties. So RBI has to keep in mind both the growth and the price stability. So the current in the current situation, the RBI is trying to control, because inflation is beyond the band of the permissible band. So RBI has to
What is
take
the permissible?
that.
क्या permissible brand है? What is the permissible brand?
The upper limit is the normal limit is 4%, and the various upper limit is
2 to 6%. There is a year 4%. 4%.
Yeah, 4% normal and 6% higher and 2% lower.
And what is the present rate of inflation, core inflation?
So currently, I don't remember exactly, but it's something around 5.9%.
So do you think that the increasing the repo rate has really worked in controlling inflation, or there is some other?
Yes, because basically previously in the previous quarters, the inflation was very high, and it has like after increasing the repo rate, it has like gone down. So it's like having effect on the economy.
Okay. You tell me one thing, that what is the GDP projection of RBI for India this year in 22-23?
Sir, I don't remember the exact figure.
What is known as a cost post inflation? Cost post inflation.
Actually, sir, the cost push inflation is one in which when the prices are rising, so that will increase the manufacturing cost of the item, which will impact in the when we will be having the increase in the prices of the items in the market. That's the cost pull inflation.
So what is the remedy for controlling this, regulating, how to bring down this cost push inflation? इसमें किसका रोल है? RBI has a role or a government has a role?
Sir, I think both the government and the RBI has a role, because because we have to keep the prices, the manufacturing cost of the prices below.
So what recourse government has to control this type of thing? Government क्या कर सकता है? Can you tell me?
Sir, to control the price and manufacturing prices, the government can provide subsidies to the manufacturers or provide this
tax
production.
Tax rebate or
yeah,
tax
it can
also they can. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it reduced to.
You are in the right direction. Take it.
Oh, yes, Mr. Shubham, have you heard something about priority sector advances?
Yes, the priority sector lendings.
What exactly it is?
Sir, it is like RBI has directed banks to lend loans to some priority sectors. Like there are various priority sectors like education, MSME, and renewable fields, and like agriculture, because these are the fields which doesn't get credit easily, because they are like for the good of the society. So they don't get that easily the lending. So RBI has directed them that they have to give certain amount of loans to these priority sectors.
Okay. Is there any lending target given to banks for priority sector advances?
Yeah, there are various targets given for various sectors, like for agriculture sector.
Like overall target
for priority sector.
How much? He is asking, what is the overall target of priority sector given to banks? So
I don't remember the exact figure.
It is 40%.
40%. And for RRBs, it is 75%. Yeah. For small finance banks also, it is 75%. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
And there
What
is
is
some
the-
separate target for agriculture. What exactly?
So exactly, I don't know, but it's
You are
something like
just mention,
18%.
you are just mentioning. I think, are you getting nervous?
No, no, sir. Actually,
18% you are mentioning, na? I think agriculture you said 18% of what?
yeah,
18,
18% of the total, they have to give loans, total
no,
loans.
18% of what? Which thing? Though we talk of 40% or 18% of what? किस
Of
चीज
the
का
to
percentage है?
of the total loans, they have to like provide.
Total
to the
loan, actually, that is known as net adjusted bank credit. It is a technical term. You are not supposed to know that much, but anyway, it is net.
Yeah.
Remember this much: net adjusted bank credit (NABC).
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you understand by MSME?
It's like micro, small, and medium enterprises. These are the they are smaller. They are not larger enterprises, but they are smaller enterprises, and they are really helpful for the growth of the economy because they provide employment to a lot of people.
What is the criteria of classifying micro, small, and medium enterprises?
So, like for classifying, I don't actually exact figures, but like for micro, I think it's for around 1 crore net
1
profit.
crore, what 1 crore?
Net pro it's
There are two
It's
different
investment in plant and machinery, 1 crore. And there is one
two
more
different criteria. One
turnover.
is
That is
investment
turnover.
criteria. The other is turnover criteria. So you have to mention both.
Both.
okay.
Okay. You are
In
not,
all the
you are
three
not-
categories, classification will be made on the basis of investment in plant and machinery as well as turnover the
Total
units
turnover.
have.
why the government is putting so much of thrust on MSME for the promotion of MSME sector? Can you tell me?
So because MSMEs are like employment generators, they provide large opportunity for the employment. So government is trying to give a thrust to these MSMEs because it will directly impact the employment, and this will be good for economy.
And what other factors are there? And what other benefits MSME sector has on the economy?
Like it will be help in increasing the GDP of our country.
Yes, very good. GDP. Okay. Mudra loan suna hai? Have you heard something called Mudra loan? Which
Yes, sir.
क्या है? What is Mudra? What is the full form of Mudra? How it is given? किसको? Who are the target groups? Can you explain something?
Sir, Mudra is like micro unit development and refinances. It is basically it's a refinance bank. It doesn't directly give loans to the people, but it gives loans refinance to the banks, and they are like used to give loans to this MSM.
Mudra, if any loans banks are giving under Mudra, they get the refinance. That is okay. There is a separate fund earmarked for this. But Mudra loan क्या होता है? What is Mudra loan? कितना? What is the maximum amount? Who are the eligible borrowers? Can you
So basically,
categories under Mudra.
Yes, sir. So basically, there are three categories in Mudra. They are like Shishu, Kishore, and Tarun, in which there are like limits. Like in Shishu, there is a limit of loan of up to 50,000, and in Kishore, there is a limit of up to from 50,000 to 5 lakhs, and in Tarun, there is a limit of 5 lakh to 10 lakhs. And they are generally given to micro, small, and medium enterprises.
It is micro only, not medium. Micro unit development. No, it's for basically for unorganized sector. Okay. What is the maximum amount you can give?
10 lakhs.
10 lakhs. Do we take any? Can the banks take any collateral security in this?
No, it's uncollateralized. The banks do not take security. They give uncollateralized loan.
What is the difference between collateral security and primary security?
Sir, basically, primary security is a security in which when a bank gives a loan, so good which is generated out of that security. Like if a person is taking a car loan or home loan, so he is taking a car from the market, so that is the security which is generated. So it comes under primary security. But in collateral security, it's like something we keep on the collateral, like gold. We keep on collateral to the bank as a security.
Achha, recently you must have seen that for some time the rupee was getting devalued against dollar,
Yes,
and
sir.
it was taking very fast. It was taking a
Yes,
very fast pace.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Abhi to some extent it is under control, but it has breached 84 level. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What are the reasons why it happened like that?
So, like there are several reasons for that. Because like when the like dollar was getting strong, basically what happened is that the foreign investors were taking out the money from our economy. So basically that was the reason. So the
Why they were
RBI,
taking out? Kyun? Why they were pulling out the money from the economy?
actually this, because sir, as like the credit was uh, basically the interest, Fed had raised the interest rate aggressively. So basically generally what happens is that during the initial periods, like Fed was giving, generally we used to get loans at lower interest rates in US, and generally investors used to take loans from the US and invest in our economy, because there they will get getting more profit. But as the Fed has increased the interest rate, so the investors were like getting the loans which are costlier, and they were not getting the required margin. So they have
The very valid reason you have given. What other reasons? Chaliye, how RBI has been, to what extent RBI has been successful in controlling this, and what are the measures they have taken?
like to control this
This devaluation,
depreciation in rupee.
depreciation in Indian rupee. Yes. Petroleum export में कुछ ये sorry, when petroleum import, India is importing a lot of, one of the major importers of petroleum.
Yes,
तो
sir.
उसमें कुछ जो डॉलर में used to pay,
Yes, sir.
so to reduce our dependence on dollar, has RBI taken any measure? जैसे रशिया के साथ bilateral.
Yes, sir. So basically what happens is that RBI has tried to like do the trade in Indian rupees only. So for that they have like opened Vostro accounts, so that the trade can be done in Indian rupees, because due to the exchange rates, their difference in the exchange rate, the RBI was getting less, like getting less profit. So in doing the trade in the Indian rupees,
So our outflow of dollar has been reduced. Our outflow of dollar, to some extent, has been checked.
Yes, sir.
Because we have entered into a bilateral agreement with Russia to make the payment in, they accept Indian rupee, we accept dollar, rubles instead of dollars.
Yes, sir.
So that is one of the answers. So then sir, kuch question.
Yeah. What is the current rate of CRR?
Sir, I don't remember.
Are you aware of what exactly the CRR means is?
Yes, sir. It's the cash reserve ratio. So basically, it is a reserve kept with the RBI by the banks. Like it's a percentage of the NDTL, which the banks have to keep as a reserve with the RBI.
But you don't know the percentage.
The exact value.
NDTL क्या होता है? What is NDTL?
It's the net demand and time liability. It's like the difference between all the sum of the demand and the time liabilities the bank is holding, and the assets.
What is the demand liability of the bank, and what is the time liability of the bank? Can you explain to me?
Yeah, basically there are two types of accounts, like current account, savings account, and they are like recurring accounts and fixed accounts. So basically demand accounts are those accounts in which people used to take money on demand, like when they need it. And term deposits are those deposits in which there's a fixed amount of time. People put money in them, and there's a fixed amount of time after which it will get mature and they will get the money.
Which is a better option for the banks, to accept go for CASA or to go for term deposits?
So for the growth of the banks, CASA is more important.
Why?
Like because they have to give less interest on CASA. then
How much interest
that
bank gives to current account holders?
zero interest. They don't pay interest.
Saving, what is the rate of interest now?
So they are different interests
From-
for the different banks.
Okay. So it will be cost effective for banks, you say.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Then if a bank goes for 100% CASA, no term deposit, what is the harm?
100% CASA. So basically, sir, people will be like, because as we have seen that RBI has increased the rate of interest, and so for that the banks has to like banks needs to have liquidity, and they generally take funds from the public. So they have to attract public by giving higher interest rate, but they cannot give higher interest rate in this current and savings account. So they have to give interest rate higher on this FD and RD because they are fixed time.
My
Question is
question
different.
to you was why should not when it is cost effective? So why doesn't the bank dispense with term deposits and only accept CASA 100%? It will be cheaper for banks.
Sir, because banks
Term
have
deposit
to.
important क्यों है बैंक के लिए? Bank has to also take some term deposit. Why?
So basically, this CASA is a demand deposit. Basically, public will having demand, they will take out the money. But in term deposit, it's for a fixed period of
Remains
time.
for a fixed period. So what way it is helpful to the banks? Term deposit.
So
क्यों रहना चाहिए?
basically, when banks will have higher term deposit, they will be giving this to the loans to the public and will get more interest.
That should have been your precise answer. That for lending activities, normally
For a
the
longer
bank
period.
cannot depend on CASA. That is for a longer period, and we require some stable deposits which will remain with the bank for this period of time. That should have been a precise answer. Okay. Chali sir, hands up.
Mr. Shubham, how do you feel that you must get selected in bank PO?
So basically, I can be having a good amount of technical experience and working experience also, which is greater than the other candidates, and I have a interest to work in this field, and I have a keen interest, and my previous experience also shows that I have an interest to work in diverse field. I was a student of electronics working in IT, and then I want to go to a bank industry. So I'm a flexible candidate which have a capacity to learn. So I think that's why I can be selected as a candidate, good candidate.
You have must have heard about the central bank digital currency, e-rupee.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That RBI is going to introduce this year itself, 22-23.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain to me how it is different from crypto?
So
Crypto is
basic,
also a digital currency, and
Yes,
this
sir.
is a digital currency. How it will be different from crypto?
so basically there are various differences between cryptocurrency and the digital currency. The digital currency is a decentralized currency, but here in this CBDC is a centralized currency, and the cryptocurrencies are they are based on the public blockchain, while the CBDC is based on the private blockchain, and it is under the preview of the central bank. The central bank digital currency is under the preview of the central bank. It is regulating the digital currency. But in the case of cryptocurrency, it is a decentralized currency. There is no regulation in this cryptocurrency, and that's the most important differences.
Do you think that after the introduction of this central bank digital currency, the physical cash will disappear? The printed notes and other things will disappear? RBI will totally dispense with, stop it?
No, sir. Basically, the physical cash, it's generally a alternative of the cash, but the cash will be remain because it's important for our economy to have this cash. It will be like a digital form of a currency, but cash will have to remain in the economy.
PNB गति ये PM गति शक्ति योजना, इसके ऊपर you have any idea? What is the last budget में there was something called PM गति शक्ति योजना. What is that?
So it is basically to develop the road as well as the waterway infrastructure of our country. Like there's various projects called Bharat Mala and Sagar Mala, in which the government is trying to develop this road infrastructure and the waterway infrastructure.
But Gati Shakti kya hai? What is PM Gati Shakti? It is some kind of coordination among different ministries which was creating delay. Any type of project the government was initiating, it was getting stalled because of various objections from different type of ministries. They were putting the objections in piecemeals.
Yes.
So this should be integrated system among some of the vital ministries. They will coordinate over in the digital platform, and before the project is initiated, they will sort out those problems so that it doesn't take long time and it is completed in a time bound manner. So this is the purpose that you have to what are your hobbies?
So my hobby is playing guitar. I used to play guitar in my
You
free time.
did mention guitar. Can you name some of the few famous guitarists of India of your choice?
So basically, I do this as a hobby. Generally, I used to play for like getting some time off from
That is
that.
okay,
So
but you must be having some role model, na? Guitar mein. You don't have any role model. You just go on playing arbitrarily, or you move in a very scientific manner. You have some role model जिसको imitate तब करते हो. नहीं, no, not like that.
Basically, sir, I generally used to listen to some bands like the Local Train and these all bands. Basically, I was also a part of my college band. I was the bass guitarist of my college band. So basically, I generally used to play as a like for some time off from generally the activities to get some relax for the mind. And I generally used to play tabs on the guitars.
So, what is your weakness? Weak area क्या है आपका personality का? What is
Sir,
your weak area of your personality trait?
Sir, I think my weakness is that I used to procrastinate a lot. Like I used to think a lot, doing some action rather than like thinking about that. Generally waste times for me. So I think that's my weak
Don't
area.
you think that in a banking setup where everything you have to do in a time bound, there is a timeline limit for everything. So this procrastination attitude will prove adverse for the organization.
Sir, I think that
On postponing everything, so it will create hazards. It will be disastrous for the bank.
No, sir. Basically, what I do is that I used to think a lot because when I am doing something, I used to think a lot about the pros and cons of the different things. So that's the thing. Basically, when I used to work on when some task is given, so like instead of jumping directly onto the task, I used to think pros and cons. That is important for some activity. But basically, like instead of wasting a lot of time, we should be focusing on like getting into the task. So that's the problem which I was facing. So basically, I used to do that. I used to divide my tasks into short pieces, so that I can like focus on those short pieces and
Yes, sir.
then do the task.
Yeah.
Like to ask something.
No, I think we are satisfied.
Okay,
Mr.
just
yeah.
Suman, one last question to you. I think,
Yes, sir.
can you give me one of your major strengths for better management of your team, where you will be working as a team leader?
So like one of the strength I found in myself as a team leader is that I'm a team person. Like when some task is given, generally I used to like take the team with myself. Like used to divide the tasks between the team and used to hear about their problems and used to like give opportunities to people. That's really important.
What managerial skills you have acquired from your previous organization, Cognizant, which you think is also equally relevant for banks?
So basically, what I think is that the skills which I acquired was that there was like effective communication between the team, the determination to complete the task, and yeah.
Okay, Subham. Thank you very much. We had a nice interaction. And as regarding the feedback, I think you will be given a separate session for that. Thank
Yes.
you.
Good
And
luck.
all the best. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
दोस्तों कैसे लगी आपको ये वीडियो? अगर आप भी आरआरबी पीओ इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन करना चाह रहे हो तो दोस्तों अड्डा 24/7 आपके लिए लेके आ रहा है 1-on-1 मॉक इंटरव्यू बैच। जी हां दोस्तों, आपके सामने आपको जाना है adda247.com पर और इस तरह से इंटरफेस दिखेगा और इस इंटरफेस में सबसे लास्ट में आपको ऑप्शन दिख रहा होगा IBPS आरआरबी पीओ एंड क्लर्क। इसके ऊपर क्लिक करना आपने और सीधे हम आ जाएंगे बैच के ऊपर। यहां पर आपको दिख रहा होगा IBPS आरआरबी पीओ एंड जीबीओ। इसके ऊपर क्लिक करना दोस्तों, ये आपका कुछ इस तरह से ओपन होकर आ गया ये बैच, जहां पर हमारे पैनलिस्ट भी हैं। यहां पर आपकी सारी क्लासेस होंगी, आपके करंट अफेयर्स की क्लासेस, बैंकिंग अवेयरनेस की क्लासेस और पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट की क्लासेस भी होंगी। और साथ ही साथ दोस्तों आपके पैनलिस्ट की भी क्लासेस होंगी इस बैच के अगार्ड, ठीक है। और इसमें आपको जाना है बाय नाउ पर। बाय नाउ पर जाके आपको इंटर कूपन कोड आ रहा है और इंटर कूपन कोड पे जाके आपको कोड अप्लाई करना है Y307 कोड, और इसको अप्लाई करके आप देखोगे प्राइस यहां पर 1839 का हो जाएगा। तो दोस्तों जिन्होंने अभी इनरोल कराना है फटाफट इनरोल करा लो, क्योंकि ये बैच आपका 6 अक्टूबर से स्टार्ट होने जा रहा है। थैंक यू गाइज, बेस्ट ऑफ लक।